There's many different ways you can resell. You can get your inventory from thrift stores or outlets, or you can wholesale, etc. The way I get my inventory is a little bit controversial. I use bots to obtain limited collectibles that typically sell out instantly. However, over the past 5 years, a couple of new methods to resell has emerged from the shadows, advertised to be easy to perform and even more profitable than all of the other methods that I spoke about before. But there's just one problem. It is completely illegal. I was browsing through the reselling subreddit and I saw a lot of people advertising vendors or asking about the legitimacy of vendors. These vendors in question supply counterfeit goods to other resellers. This is also known as one-to-one reselling because the idea behind it is that you'd be reselling replica items that is supposed to be the same as the original, a one-to-one perfect match. At least that's what they say. The items can range from sneakers, streetwear, cologne, electronics such as AirPods, Apple Watches, and resellers would sell these counterfeit items on platforms such as StockX, Goat, eBay, or Facebook Marketplace. They would buy items for around $10 to $30 each and then resell them for anywhere between $100 to $300 each depending on the item. Every reseller participating in this is potentially scamming hundreds to thousands of people, and here's the part that blows my mind. Counterfeit resellers are openly posting about this on social media pages as if it's just a completely normal and legitimate side hustle. In fact, it's gotten so bad that it's completely taken over the reselling niche in most social media algorithms. For example, here on YouTube, when I just search reselling, the first page is filled with people reselling counterfeits, which again is completely illegal. Facebook Marketplace. How long did you go to jail for? For 5 years. I'm actually out some months ago. I sold it to a cop's wife, but I didn't know that the person was a cop's wife.
So what I do is something called one-to-one reselling, where I get different products like electronics, clothes, and many other things, like these AirPod Pros right here, that I can get for only around 20 per pair and sell for upwards of 150.
So click those, boom. And then your listing is all good. And all you gotta do now is just press publish.
When he's making his listing, he didn't specify anywhere at all that these were fake AirPods. I'm 16 years old and making over $15,000 a month from reselling and e-com. You mean from scamming people? So as you go through some of these results channels or success channels and these reselling discords, you got all these people flashing cash results and everything like that. But basically all of this is stolen money. It's like the Chase ATM glitch all over again, where people were flexing their winnings from defrauding the bank, but this time, instead of robbing a mega corporation, these resellers are robbing normal people, which arguably is much worse.
I'll be at school, and this is I'm sophomore year, 15, 16. Dude, I was the baller, bro. Had money on money. My friends knew it, the bitches knew it. Let's not call them bitches, the girls. I'm gonna keep reselling my AirPods because I make like fucking 5K, 3, 4, 5K a month.
A lot of these counterfeit resellers will feel like they're not doing anything wrong, where if the authenticators and the customers can't tell that the item is fake, or if the customer is just happy about it because maybe they don't know any better, then there's an argument that it might as well be real, right? Not really. Ultimately, if you had the impression that what you were getting is real and you received something that was fake, you didn't receive what you paid for. In the best case scenario where you are perfectly fine with receiving a fake item, you still got scammed. When you were reselling these AirPods, you wouldn't like disclose whether or not they were reps or anything, right?
Nope.
So you
scamming people in a way.
it's not in a way, bro. It's like just full on like robbing mother.
But look, only if they asked. If they asked, hey, is this dupe or some shit? I'd be like, yeah, dupe, bro. And if they wanted refund, I'd always give them their money back. So that's how I got past morality.
Imagine you get a bottle of water from the corner store. You leave the store, you start to drink it, and you don't think anything of it. But just moments later, somebody stops you on the street and says, hey, did you get that bottle of water from that store right down there? Yeah? Well, I used to work there, and what you're drinking is actually water from their bathroom sink. So before this person even came up to you, you were perfectly content with receiving a fake item, but had you known it was just from a bathroom sink, most likely you would have just went somewhere else, or maybe you would have just went to the bathroom sink yourself and then drank out of it.
When the guys came around looking for legit AirPods, I would let them know, like, bro, this is a Chinese supplier, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I did finesse a couple months, right? But at the end of the day, they would always hit me back up for their money. And it was like, for every 10 people I sold, maybe 1 or 2 would like refund.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't like anything crazy. And once they refund, you just resold that refunded AirPod to somebody else.
In the worst case scenario where they know they received a product that isn't genuine. Unfortunately, many times they don't have any options but to just hold that L, unless you're lucky enough to somehow return the item. It wasn't until just recently that third-party selling platforms introduced the ability to return eligible items, which is at least a step in the right direction. Speaking of third-party selling platforms, the way some of these sellers would frame their sales pitch would be as if they were selling their items not to victims but the companies themselves. They would say like, I'm selling this counterfeit hoodie to StockX or to GOAT. Actually, no, you are not. You are not selling it to StockX or to GOAT. The money that you receive is directly out of the pockets from someone who wants to use StockX as a service that's supposed to verify the authenticity of the item. As to whether or not their verification process is actually accurate, that's a different story.
Especially like Antisocial Social Club, where the only thing you gotta do to verify it is scan the code. Because if they opened up the packaging, then it'd be pre-owned or used. With shoes, you could open up the box, go through it. That's why they don't go through as well. Clothes, especially shit that's sealed up, good looks, bro. StockX, you're cooked.
I guess that's why like it's a lot more prevalent in clothes. Like you literally can't like open it up. Like there's nothing you can do. And damn.
Like, what is StockX gonna do? Reseal it?
Now, if they wanted to buy something fake, then they would have no reason to buy from StockX at all. Now, there are some counterfeit resellers that apparently do disclose that what they're selling is fake.
One thing that I did mention is that I always resell stuff as reps. If you sell it as real, you can get in a ton of legal trouble. Like literally people can sue you.
I'm not a lawyer, but although this is not as bad, I am 99% sure this is still illegal. And even so, if you make videos about how to do this, you already know like 90 to 95% of the people who partake in this won't actually disclose that these are fakes. And most third-party marketplaces don't even allow this to begin with. Not only do customers get scammed, but in some cases, the aspiring counterfeit resellers themselves get scammed. The plot thickens. So if you decide to be a counterfeit reseller, which I do not recommend at all, you're gonna need items that would be good enough to get passed through all of these authentication checks. And this is where it gets tricky. So if you don't know how to do something, the obvious thing to do would be to look it up or find someone who has done it before. Other counterfeit resellers would paywall the vendors that they use. I don't exactly have a problem with paywalling in general, but what makes this super sketch is that if too many people use the same vendor, there's a higher likelihood for those fakes to get detected at some point. But if there's too few people that's used it, then there wouldn't be enough sellers to vouch for whether or not these items would be good enough to pass verification. So how would you ever know that these are legit? I'm talking about the vendors, not the items itself. They're obviously fake. Now, you might also come across some vendors who give their lists for free. And why would they do that? What do they have to gain from it? Are they just well-meaning good Samaritans that just want to help the noob out? Well, the links from these vendor spreadsheets are typically affiliate links, which means that they don't even need to know whether or not these products are good. They're gonna get paid regardless if you purchase from it. As I was going undercover, snooping around, I saw this interesting comment. Reps don't pass on StockX from experience. These dudes buy real clothes and send them to StockX to grow their sales. This is referring to vendors and resellers using StockX sales screenshots to try and advertise their fake products. Because maybe these sales were made using legit products, and if that's true, then they're trying to swindle resellers. But if these were actually real sales using fake products, then they've scammed the buyers from StockX, and it's bad both ways. In this one Discord group, which seems like it's a vendor group, it says that they accept Apple Pay, Zelle, Crypto, or Revolut, all of which are payment methods that make it impossible to charge back on. Honestly, if you get scammed by a vendor trying to do this, it's hard for me to feel bad for you.
I was gonna go through these Discords and fuck. Oh, what's your supplier link? What's your supplier link? That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Don't fuck. These guys are scammers. Like when he sent me like 4 or 5 cash apps, and he's telling me like, oh, your package is on the way, bro. Like just refund me my money then. Oh, the supplier took the money. Your order is gonna arrive, and I know it's Chinese New Year, but bullshit, bro. You're supposed to send my package over a month ago. I'm not about to be that much. I'm gonna charge back on your ass.
Vendors that scam counterfeit resellers are basically doing to them what they plan to do to other people. That being said, scamming is still not good, so this whole industry is But what are the repercussions? If you decided to do this, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, so earlier we were looking at this guy. So let's see what he has to say about these Rolexes.
All you gotta do is click on the link right here that says buy here, and then it'll take you straight to the vendor. This is for all of them. And then this is the Rolex right here. You can get it for about 60 bucks and then it resells for maybe 400. But this is the Rolex listing right here. It's about $61 and comes in a bunch of different colorways.
And then a few days later, I came across this video. Just to recap all of it, he was selling a fake Rolex to this guy for $5,000. And this guy flashed his gun, threatening him, basically asking him for his money back. And then that's when all the police and stuff got involved. Not only could he go to jail because this is illegal to begin with, but he ended up selling it to a psychopath that threatened his life. And in this beginning clip over here, he's shaking because he really thought he was about to die. Fast forward, the buyer gets arrested, the seller gets arrested, and he didn't say it was coming from like a supplier or anything like that. He said that a tall Asian man sold him the Rolexes.
A man, he was about like 6 foot. He was an Asian man. He had a suit on. And then he showed me the Rolexes. And then that's when I told him, sorry, sir, I only had $200 on me. He said, I'll try to help you out. I see myself with you. He said, and then like the bezel, he searched up the bezel. I said, okay, how much you look for? I wanted for each Rolex. And it was, he said it was a Batman and the whole Rolexes.
So it was 2 Rolex you bought off of him?
Yes, sir.
That's one of the watches that he sold. And if we go back to this, if I'm not mistaken, this was the exact watch that was in this video. But in my opinion, the likelihood that the watch originated from a website like this, I think it's pretty high. What people are saying on Discord is that the authorities typically only go after manufacturers and not so much individual sellers. But is that really true? Let's have a look. Men try to sell counterfeit Apple products to plainclothes police and find out. So a 22-year-old and a 24-year-old, both from New York, placed under arrest and charged with forgery of label, larceny, criminal attempt at larceny 2, and violation of peddler ordinance. So one of them had about 3.5k worth of fake Apple products. Another one had 4.6k worth of fake Apple products, which to be honest, this is not a lot. Usually when you see news about these counterfeit resellers getting taken down, it would usually have a headline of $3 million confiscated worth of like counterfeit stuff, and then you end up thinking to yourself, oh, I'm not gonna do $3 million, so I should be good, right? But no, look, according to this, between these two resellers, they had less than $10,000 worth of product. Broken Arrow couple charged with selling counterfeit goods on Facebook Marketplace, charged with 3 felonies. Let's have a look at it.
Investigator Jameson Hirsch says he spotted the items on Facebook Marketplace. He says he ran them by an expert in Texas who confirmed the items were fake before the department seized more than 20 counterfeit items.
So they're saying over 20 counterfeit items. So my guess is they had 20 something counterfeit items, which like that's not a lot at all whatsoever. Yo, selling fake AirPods. What are the odds that the FBI or the cops come arrest me or tell me to stop? Has this ever happened to you guys? Yes, I've been arrested before, but thank God I'm out. No way, on what charge? I resell fake products on Facebook Marketplace. I'm saying, what charge were you arrested on? Fraud. How long did you go to jail for? For 5 years. I'm actually out some months ago. You're capping. No, why would I do that? Send a pic or proof. Of what? Did you sell them as if they were real? Yes, I use one-to-one. So why did they arrest you if you used one-to-one? So my guess is that this person said it was a fake product in their listing, saying it was a one-to-one replica. I sold it to a cop's wife, but I didn't know that the person was a cop's wife. What did you sell? I sell AirPods, cologne, and some other stuff. So we can't tell if this story is 100% real because there's no evidence for it. Like literally anybody could just write this up, but nevertheless, if it is true, it sucks that he went to jail for 5 years. Damn. Teen arrested for allegedly selling fake AirPods on social media. The items had real serial numbers, which could be looked up on Apple's website. However, the serial numbers were allegedly stolen from real devices. So these products that have these legitimate serial numbers, it's the exact same thing that I'm seeing on this vendor Discord. Serials on all 6 were the same, warranty expired, needed to connect manually through Bluetooth settings. So this is how they do it. They would just use the same serial numbers for basically everything, and obviously it's going to be sealed, but all counterfeit. So we're having undercover officers purchasing several pairs of these, and they were originating from this 18-year-old. Over $2,000 worth of counterfeit merchandise was seized. Sanchez was arrested and booked into the San Mateo County Jail.
It is 6:24 now. On New this morning, a man is accused of being in possession of several counterfeit Apple products. Deputies say back on March 20,
Look at that. It's not even a lot.
has been charged with felony trademark counterfeiting.
Now, I'm not saying you're going to 100% get caught doing this, but number one, don't do it anyway because you're just straight up robbing people. Number 2, it's illegal and you could get caught. And number 3, there's a high possibility that you get scammed yourself.
Karma is a real thing, especially with AirPods. I really felt that karma because I was selling dupes to people and like not telling them they were dupes. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. That karma really hit me because that money came fast, it went fast, bro. That was one of the worst like dry streaks of my life because of selling those dupes. I made a shit ton of money, but the karmic cycle hit me back so hard.
There's 1,000 other side hustles that you can do that doesn't involve scamming other people. Or here's another idea: getting a job.
Stay legal and always be legal because you can make M's the legal way.
But if you don't want to work a normal job and you actually want to get rich building a successful business, you got to work smart, you got to work really hard, and if you want it to be a long-lasting thing, it has to at least be legal. That's about it for me. Signing out.